Hello, theme park fans, and welcome to episode 71 of the E-Ticket Report. My name is Chris Wakefield, and I am joined by my co-hosts, Ryan Barr.
How's it going?
Jalen Harvey.
Hey, y'all, what's good?
And Tommy Hawkins.
Hey.
All right, we're going to jump right into it. This is a special emergency show. Usually I'm golfing on Thursdays, but not today because we just got news yesterday of Disney Genie, Disney Genie Plus, Disney Lightning Lane, Disney Lightning Lane Plus. Am I forgetting anything else?
Fast Cash Plus. I don't know. It's all the same. Isn't it?
Here, all right, let's play a game. I'm going to try as best as I can off all the reading I've done in the last half a day to describe this program. When I mess up, you guys jump in and tell me that I've made a mistake here because I don't think I fully understand this. So, as a guest at Walt Disney World, you can purchase Disney Genie Plus for $15 a day per person per day, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Disney has announced Disney Genie, no plus, that everyone will get to use, part of the My Disney Experience app, and this special add-on to the app that is free will help guide you through your day. We'll get to that later. But Disney Genie Plus is going to function a lot like a Fast Pass, the old Fast Pass system used to. So you'll wake up at 7 a.m., correct?
Okay, wait.
You can
rewind a little.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I've already messed When can I purchase Disney Genie Plus? Do I have to wait until 7 a.m. that day, or can I purchase it the day before?
I think you have to wait like day of. Like everything seems to be like a day of.
Maybe in the park.
Like
but
at
you have to
7
be
o'clock.
inside.
That's the time.
But wait, so
No, so you don't have to be in the parks.
Okay.
You just have to. I think you're going to have like a park reservation, right? Like you know how with rides you have to have a park reservation to be able to.
30 seconds in, we've already have no
God.
fucking clue how this thing works.
Just a PSA for everyone listening out there. Jalen shared the 15-minute long explainer video with all of us. I'm pretty sure most of us watched it.
I watched the whole thing.
We're still none the wiser, guys. Like, we don't know.
So is this Genie? Is Genie going to? You said it was going to be an add-on to My Disney Experience. I thought it was going to be its own app.
They showed it as an add-on into My Disney Experience in the video we saw.
No, it's a whole. I thought it was like a whole other app. Because I thought this was supposed to be like the replacement. You know, I thought this was going to be like. I thought this was going to kill MDX indefinitely.
No, there was in the video. They show the interface and they show Disney Genie from what I recall inside the app itself. But again, so we're not sure when you can purchase Disney Genie Plus on a date or time frame.
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
So at 7 a.m. you wake up, we think, and you can buy Disney Genie Plus for $15 per day per person, and this allows you 2 fast passes for the day, correct?
Yeah, you get 2. Yeah, you get 2 fast passes, which isn't like max pass because you got 3, but whatever.
Exactly right. So you get 2 fast passes per person per day, whoever pays for it, and those fast passes can be used later on in the day on specific rides. Not every ride you can use a fast pass on. So let's say you get to the park at Rope Drop at 9 a.m. and you go, you know what? We want to go on Space Mountain. You open up your My Disney Experience app, we think. You open up Disney Genie Plus. You click on Space Mountain, and it will say either you've used one of your fast passes, come on over, or you know what? The line's a bit long right now. A lot of people are ahead of you in the Disney Genie Plus line, so come back at 12 o'clock. Correct?
Yes, but Chris, real quick, breaking news from Blog Mickey. Disney Genie announcement video becomes the most disliked video on Disney Parks YouTube's channel. Currently sitting at 1.75k views, which is a lot for them.
Whoa. So, okay. And we have an entire clan of Disney fans that are intentionally going to their channel to dislike videos about the Princess Tiana ride replacing Splash Mountain. So,
yes.
This already has surpassed that effort.
Yeah. And that was just a ride. This is actually something that might be bad? I guess we can get into that.
I've been talking with my friends in the media and putting out feelers out there about the announcement. And Disney sent the media, they sent us all a big press packet online. Just, here's what you say, here's what you don't say, here's what it is, here's what it isn't. And a lot of my media friends are just like, what the hell is, we don't understand this. We don't know how to phrase this. We don't know what headlines to write. Do you still get into the park for the regular price? It's been a big schmoz. But anyways, okay. Well, again, we'll get to some of that later.
But let's try and understand it, right?
So, so we get our 2 fast passes, and you can use your fast passes at a given point in the day. So it's not like Express Pass or some other passes where you can get in line instantly into the lightning lane.
It's going to set it up like a touring plans, isn't it? So currently the touring plans app, you've got a list. So you want to write a touring plan for the day. You kind of tick off the things that you want to do, don't you? So you
right, but I'm talking about Disney Genie Plus right now, not Disney Genie regular.
No, but what I'm saying is that from that explainer video, basically said that you would put in your interests for the day. So you would put like the rides that you want to ride, maybe the restaurants you want to go to, all that stuff. And then it's going to base your day, including your fast pass, whatever they call it, as part of that. So it's going to basically plan your day and include your fast pass with it.
It may suggest your lightning lane passes. I don't think it's going to book them for you. It might say, you love thrill rides. How about Space Mountain?
Well, if you pay the $15, or if you don't pay the $15, you can't use lightning lane at all.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I don't think it's automatic.
Hold on. So if you don't pay the $15,
you will only get recommendations to visit attractions at certain times based on what the app thinks is, I don't know, what you should do.
No, I'm talking about like the big stuff, the big lightning lane, like the ones that you have to buy on top of that. So you just can't skip the middleman of buying the $15 thing and just say, hey, I want to shell out this amount of money for rides. Do I have to pay for that?
So you pay the $15 and then you can make reservations to use the lightning lane, like return times, for just like how FastPass used to work. If you use if you use one of your up to 2 lightning lane entrance things, you pay for that attraction specifically and you go right in.
So I have to buy the $15 because I know they give you 2 for any, like for a regular ride, but there are
if you pay $15.
If you pay $15, but wasn't there like a Rise one where like you have to pay extra for Rise or Flight of Passage?
Right. So again, we'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
Immediately. So if you can get your 2, but it might tell you to come back at 6:00 that night.
Right, exactly. So yeah, you have your 2, and it may say come back at a certain time. On top of that, there is Lightning Lane Plus, in which you can say, Jalen, I'm at Rise right now, and I want to get on Rise. That's not included in Genie Plus, right? This is an upgrade. So you get on your app, and it says, do you want to get on Rise right now? Give me $40, give me $50, and you can walk in line right now. That's what Lightning Lane Plus is inside Disney Genie Plus, inside the My Disney Experience app.
Yeah, on the blog post, they just call it individual attraction selections in parentheses available for purchase. Disney Genie Plus service. So when you pay the $15, you choose the next available time, but you only get one at a time. So after you finish that one, you can make the next one right away.
And you only get 2 total.
You do? It doesn't say that though. I don't know.
No. So that's the thing. You get 2 of the big name ones. But you can get. But every other thing you can just continuously get throughout the days. So say that you like
that's pretty much how it used to be though. Do you remember? I know it feels like about 5 years ago where you'd have like one kind of tier, like your Slinky Dog and whatever, and then you'd have a second tier.
Yeah.
That are like non-e-ticket. They used to have that basically anyway, didn't they?
Okay, so good clarification. So the premium upgrades, we'll call them, those you only get 2 of. Rise of the Resistance, Flight of Passage,
Slinky Dog Dash, apparently.
Yeah, and that's our next conversation here is what attractions will be in this premium upgrade. Let's go park by park. Starting at the Magic Kingdom, what attractions are going to be in this plus category that you only get 2 of a day?
Here's what I think. I think they're going to
let me pull up
the hell out of people. Okay, they're going to put the attractions on here that have like 45-minute waits at the most during the day. They're going to put like the aerial ride as a lightning lane availability. Since they have these queues, they know people might not reserve times for them. So they're going to give you the option to pay for it, maybe make it super cheap, like $3-4, but they're going to have it there because they have the queue and they're going to use it, and they want you to pay more money.
So you think there are going to be more than a handful of rides at Magic Kingdom that will require the upgrades of the upgrade?
Not require, but you will definitely be able, if you want to ride Winnie the Pooh without waiting 30 minutes, it'll give you that option to just get in the lightning lane.
Okay, so that'll be an instant type of thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
that's a part of one of your 2 per day. Your lightning lane plus, you mean, not the regular lightning lane.
That's true. You only have 2, right?
Yeah, so, who would want to waste it on that?
Yeah. Well, we saw people with fast passes would be getting fast passes, one of their 3 for the day on PhilharMagic because they added it to the option, and people don't know any better. Said, okay, let's get on that.
Maybe they won't block people from being able to do that, but maybe it is just the e-tickets. So at Magic Kingdom, 7 Dwarfs, Peter Pan, and Space Mountain. I say those 3. For the
so you don't think Splash Mountain and Big Thunder will be on the upgrade list?
I don't.
Really?
I think Tiana will be in the future. Tiana will be in the future.
Maybe Splash Mountain towards the end of its when they announce its closure. But I think those both those attractions, they're right next to each other, and they offset each other with the crowd.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go over to Epcot. This is a really interesting one. Which ones will be in the premium upgrade tier there? Because there's only 4 attractions, period.
Remy and Test Track.
Not Soarin'?
So that's on the rumored list. I'm looking at the rumored list right now, and I said the same thing about Soarin', but Soarin' is so easy to get on now. Soarin' is the highest is 45 minutes to get on Soarin'.
Let's pause there because what we talked about yesterday also a little bit. Will Disney then, so this is the case. We know the average wait for Soarin' is 45 minutes. What if Disney starts posting the average wait at 90 minutes? Don't you want to buy that upgrade for Soarin'?
Now they're just going to start lying to people. Yeah. No, you got a point.
Well, and I think it's pretty clear by now they already have been fudging the numbers on wait times already to manipulate crowds. So there's no reason to think they would stop doing it, especially when there's money on the line for them.
Yeah, that's true. If this is something for a once in a lifetime guest, I think the best person, you would just have to hope that there's a pass holder, somebody nearby who comes along and just be like, yeah, the fucking line that you do, just get in line. You don't have to spend the amount of money for that. Because that's what I'm going to do.
Kind of related. Have you guys noticed how the wait times for Frozen have basically gone down in half in average since COVID, because there's no fast pass anymore? The line for that is never sticking outside anymore, even with the social distancing.
Was sticking out. No, it was sticking out for sure, but it definitely spat out people a lot quicker than it normally did. There was some busy days where
it was wrapped around in Norway, but
and we'll get to Disney Genie Plus's effect and Disney Genie's effect on lines here in a second, because that's a big conversation today, and some of the fallout. So we did Epcot. Hollywood Studios, obviously, Rise of the Resistance will be on this tier, but I'm also hearing that Smuggler's Run. I think they even referenced Smuggler's Run in the video, right, as being a part of the upper tier.
No, they didn't say Smugglers. They said Slinky Dog.
Oh, Slinky Dog. Okay, Slinky Dog.
They said Slinky Dog.
Slinky Dog, Millennium Falcon, Mickey and Minnie's were all tier 1. Obviously pre-COVID, Fast era, right? They were all tier 1 rides.
I'm surprised Twilight Zone, as big as Twilight Zone Tower of Terror is, and that's the ride in the park before Rise, and it's one of the main staples of that park. It's like that park Space Mountain, so I'm surprised that doesn't have Lightning Lane on it.
That can crank through, yes, though. Once, if they're running all 4 elevators, even with a lot of...
So can Slinky Dog, though. Slinky Dog got some good capacity on it for a little tiny roller coaster.
And so to clarify, you will still need to wake up in the morning and get a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can do your premium upgrade.
And spend $120 for the family of 4 to be guaranteed to maybe walk down the highway.
on a slow day.
Yeah, I'm putting this at 50 ahead for busy days.
And maybe not get all the pre-shows.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I had that happen to me. Just what was it? Wednesday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and if it wasn't such a hassle to get on the bitch, I wouldn't be mad about the pre-shows not working and me having to go down the hallway to get to the Star Destroyer. But if I'm paying $45 and I'm also getting up at 7 a.m., one of those two things, that bitch got to be working 100, maybe 90% down. None of the effects was working. B mode Kylo Ren with his rinky dink ship. It was
because like if you
is that fair though to people like myself that haven't been on it yet, like are going to be flying like 4,000 miles or whatever to go on the ride? Do you think that's fair? Like your first experience should be a shit show because you haven't paid X dollars on top.
No, there was a family in front of me who was just like, oh, this is our first time doing it. And we walked through the hallway. If I didn't have a friend who was working there that day and they were like, oh, you have to go down this hallway, I would have just said, fuck it, I'm leaving. I'm not doing this. Because it just felt gross. I felt like Shrek put me in his mouth and spit me out. It just felt like a gross, sad experience.
I think that's something that we want to keep perspective on also, as all of us have been to the parks many times, and we are to an extent jaded, but I always try and think about when it comes to when I'm in the park myself and how I conduct myself and how I make sure my daughter is conducting herself. There's always someone in line with you at a ride or standing next to you for wishes or whatever, illuminations, who's never been there before. And I don't want to spoil it for them. I don't want to make their experience any less. I don't want to talk over the narrator in the Haunted Mansion. And I also want their first experience on an attraction to be functioning 100%. Yeah. They deserve that.
Yeah. Especially if this is supposed to be the thing that, like, they make such an urgent thing about getting on rides that you have to get up at 7 a.m. And it's just you hear the heartbreak and you hear the cries of joy when people get it. It's almost like winning the fucking lottery.
I was shaking the first time I tried to do this a year or so ago. I was like, oh my gosh, why am I shaking? I have so much anxiety over getting a damn boarding group for a theme park ride.
Because you only have that one time. Most people only have that one time. And the family in front of me, I was like, this is something that normally never happens. Eventually, that kid got a little nervous about the ride and they completely boned out, which is probably good because once I get off the ride, I was just like, this is not, just shut the bitch down. Like if you're going to have people pay $20 to $45, $75 to do this, there's no excuse for it to not be working. It's okay if this is just like included with my park ticket and the Swedish chef isn't moving in the back of Muppet Vision and, some of the fireworks isn't like, okay, I didn't have to fight to get on this thing. But if people have to fight and or shell out a boatload of money after shelling out another boatload of money, it has to be working, dog. There's no fucking excuse.
And that's something that we kind of touched on last time, is that this will raise expectations. People expect it to work. And if you're paying, like you said, $50 a head to get in and it doesn't work, and we've heard of some CMs already in guest service, there's going to be a long line at guest service saying, I paid $200 and this doesn't work.
Yeah. It's just like, imagine buying like a video game console and it's not working. You spent $250 to buy a Nintendo Switch and it's not coming on. It's not working. Well, it's not working how it should be. You are going to want to return that and get your money and get a new one. And if you can't get a new one and if you can't get your money back, then the poor person on the receiving end is going to be completely like it's not going to be a good experience. I already know when guest services, the day Disney Genie drops and guest services opens, it's going to be like some Game of Thrones shit. Like they're going to be linked up together, arm to arm. Like, hold the line.
So for the Type A people out there, I know that you are wanting us to get to Animal Kingdom because we didn't get to Animal Kingdom yet. So what attractions will be on the premium tier list for Animal Kingdom?
Flight of Passage for sure.
Kilimanjaro.
And Cali River Rapids. No. Nah.
No, you can have the two, aren't you? Because like Flight and Navi, like forget like what people think of the quality of the ride. It's always got a massive queue, so it's clearly an in-demand ride, isn't it?
Because you can't do Everest. That's got a single rider line.
So that's the thing. On this rumored list, I said I think Navi is going to be on there, but people are like Blog Mickey's rumor list. They're thinking Kilimanjaro safaris, which I can also see.
Oh yes, I forgot all about that one. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
But that's the weird thing about Kilimanjaro safaris is they're probably going to fudge the numbers there. But even when they fudge the numbers, Kilimanjaro safaris just has such great capacity. It's like 15 trucks on the thing at once. The thing holds maybe 30 to 45 people at a time, and it just keeps spitting people in and out. It's just a high volume attraction.
The average guest does not know capacity at all. They just walk up and see 75 minutes and they freak out and go, get the wallet.
Again, Pete folks, if you see people like this in the parks, you pull them over and you'd be like, no, Chapek's not winning today. You tell them, yo, y'all get in the line with me. And
the line is right here. From my experience, that's more like a half-hour wait.
This is about to be a breeze.
The sad thing is this money isn't going to be reinvested into the parks that they make from this service.
Oh, gosh. No. Are you kidding me?
No, this is to get Chapek some more forehead oil. Like, this is to get him, to get more like bald, shiny oil so he can be looking like that Alaskan bullworm he is. Like, this is just for the lining of him and DeMarro's pockets. Like, it's not going to be put back into the parks. It's going to be put on their fancy dinner tables and their houses and their kids' college funds.
What's the word that they were using on the? I can't remember what they said it was. I'll look it up in a minute. The words that they used to scalp people. What was? Oh man, that's going to bug me now.
Magic.
Look it
That's the word they keep using.
While you talk. I'll go look it up.
Well, let's talk about some of the ramifications of Disney Genie Plus and Disney Genie. And I have not talked with Lynn Testa yet because I'm sure he's got some stuff going on. I don't think he's worried about this at all. I mean, my previous conversations with Lynn, it didn't seem like he was worried about this one bit as a competitor to touring plans.
These are the kind of questions that I've got. I kind of asked you last night, didn't I? Like, how many people do they think are going to take up on it? Like, what kind of take up are they going to get on it? Is it like the Star Cruiser Hotel where really they can get away with having about 5% of people that go to the parks paying the full whack or paying near the full whack? And like, is it just one of those things where it makes them a bit of extra money, but actually really by paying for it, you're just paying for them to do themselves a favor by just managing the parks, managing where people are in the parks?
The exact reason you see this priced exactly where it is at $15. That number did not come out of someone's butt. This was a well-researched number that Disney feels like and knows will get the most people to sign up for it each day.
And 20 for Disneyland, by the way.
Yeah, and 20 for Disneyland.
Which was what Max Pass was.
And that's exactly what it is. They're kind of mirroring that. So they have those numbers already. And if there are 10,000 people that go to Magic Kingdom on a given day, and beforehand, 8,000 of them would use FastPass, the old FastPass system. What percentage of that 8,000 now is going to buy Genie Plus? I would say over half of those people, maybe even 75 to 80% of them, are going to be using.
See, this is why we're all talking as kind of like, if you like, seasoned kind of park goers, but like the fast pass system and all that anyway wasn't necessarily a massive thing that everybody that goes to the parks does. There's still a lot of people that never knew about it or used it.
There's still people who. Oh, sorry, not to cut you off, Tommy. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. But
when I was at MGM the other day, I saw a girl with a park map. And like a girl my age who had a park map, and she was looking and scanning it, and I'm just like, why didn't she have the app? And then I just realized she's probably a day of guest who just thinks, or somebody who is staying off property, or who comes from like a place where theme parks aren't this streamlined and has all of this software to just make the day run. She just has her regular way of doing things.
Well, now
it's weird. Florida locals and Georgians, like, they automatically assume that since the parks are in their backyard, that they're pretty much experts, and whoever they bring along with them should just ask them all the questions because they know everything. Whereas, like, I just experienced this working there with so many Florida locals that just expect everything their day to go fine with no preparation.
Well, but you think about now, Disney has engineered this to where you pretty much have to have the app when you walk in the park. So
especially
now they're putting all the information about Genie Plus and before FastPass Plus. So the usage, I'm willing to bet, went through the roof of the amount of people who did use FastPass Plus once they built that app and you had to use that app. Because now it's in your face when you open the app.
Wait, question. Now, I just thought about something else because I remember, like, there was guests who didn't have the app and they would have to go to the FastPass kiosk. So do you think that the FastPass kiosks that we had back with FastPass Plus are going to be repurposed for Disney Genie and they're going to bring those back? Because those have just been standing stationary. And
I doubt it, because now we're looking at the next step in this evolution is the getting rid of magic bands, and your ticket and everything else is just on your phone. So, and again, you have to have the app, and you have to have already made a park reservation now too. So they've got you in their system already. You just can't walk up like you used to be able to and just buy a ticket and walk in. So you've already had to have an account registered, which means you have to have the app. And if there's no more magic bands in a couple of years, bing, bang, boom.
This feels like a very shitty video game. Like, just a shitty video game. Like
a Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Like, this is just like, you gotta have this, and you gotta have this, and you gotta have this, and you gotta have this, just to, you know.
It's a loot crate. It's their version of loot crates.
Jesus Christ.
That kind of brings me on to the next question. Is it as convoluted as it is by the design? Or are they just so up their own asses that they don't realize that?
It's probably a little of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both, I can see. Just having people be confused, and that means there's some level of chaos, and so they don't want you to know the system completely perfect. Like, even with FastPass Plus, you would see so many people freaking out about the system. But if you really sat there and thought about it, you'd be like, the system is broken, so I can take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And I can use all of the excuses and do this, that, and the third to be able to get my way. That's what I did. And they don't want you to know that. They want you to be completely boondoggled and confused. So, like, guest services will be on the receiving end, but that's better than them knowing, hey, I can take advantage of this and use it to my benefit and use the brokenness of this to my advantage. And they probably don't want that with Disney Genie Plus, but Lord knows I'm finna get on my Top Cat flow and figure out how to exploit all the hell out of this.
The thing is, with so many guests, they had the mindset that, I'm spending so much more, or so much, just as if not more money than everyone else here. Why are they using the FastPass lane and I'm not? So people will just force their way in most of the time, either by going to guest services or just complaining to the poor soul outside the attraction at greeter. It happened so often that FastPass guidelines just fell by the wayside at one point, towards the end, by the time the pandemic hit. Like, anyone could get a FastPass just by visiting guest services.
Right. Yeah. And again, the ticket price continues to go up. So guests, even if they're not using Genie Plus, are looking to get the most value. Remember when people would sit like on benches and on the porch by Hall of Presidents and just like sit in a rocking chair for an hour or two? That's gone. You got to get the most for your money each day now to this ticket, unless you're an annual pass holder. But if you're there for 2 or 3 days, we ain't sitting down for 2 hours. Get up. Come on, let's go.
The word leisure isn't in their advertising or marketing anymore. That word has been deleted from their dictionary.
We got rocking chairs at home. Come on, let's go.
You never really see, like, if you look at old Disney World commercials, like the Vacation Kingdom, here you can relax, you can do whatever you want. And now it's just a military operation every day. Like, get out the goddamn bed. Yeah. My feet hurt. My feet hurt too.
It's 7 a.m.
And they
Let's
still
go. 3 more days of this.
They still try to pull it off as like a fantasy world too. Like, you just walking in the middle of a main street and running
Mickey
to
Mouse
Cinderella.
is waiting for you by the castle.
That turnstile's waiting for that cheddar, son. He's waiting for his cheese. He's in the back just no. I can just see Mickey in like the office of the railroad station, just looking down, like, yeah, bitch, yeah, run me my ducats, son, run it.
So this is one
it.
of the great parts about having this group of hosts that we do on the show, because we have 4 different perspectives. I'm going to go one by one and ask you if you see yourself using Disney Genie Plus or Lightning Lane Plus. Jalen, as an annual pass holder, someone who is there quite often, more than any of us, do you see yourself using these systems?
I'm probably going to try it out once. I know when I went out west, I used MaxPass before, both times when I went over there, and I loved MaxPass. I loved how it would affect my day, but I was only there for like 1 to 2 days on average, so I really needed it. Now, I think I want to try it out for the audio tour and things like that, but I don't really think I need it. I don't get Express at Universal. So whenever I go, so I don't really see a need for it. I mean, if I'm with family or if it's something along the lines where, you know, I get some friends who don't get to go as much as me and I want to show them everything, then yeah, probably for that. But me on my own, not unless I can thoroughly exploit the hell out of it. So it teeters and totters. It kind of depends, but I will try it out. I will try it out.
Ryan, someone who used to be local and now is not local, but you go still a handful of times a year. Will you use the system?
I think so, because I think at this point, as I've moved
Ryan
from
is
Orlando.
a billionaire, by the way. Let's pause. Ryan is a billionaire and has a ton of money, so of course he wants to use this thing.
Yeah, of course. And I'm going to promote the hell out of it. Like, you should use it too. Everyone should. Everyone should pay Disney as much money as they possibly can.
Ryan Chapek.
Pay Disney through me, and I'll just do everything for you. So,
Jesus Christ, Lou Mangello, calm down there. Jesus Christ, look at you trying to supplant Mr. Ryan Barr, the new Lou Mangello. Wow, listen, he is slowly decaying.
I'm going to talk you into believing that Genie is the scariest thing you will ever experience, and that I can just make your vacation headache free. Anyway,
let me do all the work.
So not living in Orlando anymore, I'm probably only going to Disney parks once a year. I'm definitely going to use the Lightning, my 2 high value attractions a day, and most likely the $15 on top of that. So, but if I was
the $15 come first, right?
Yeah, the $15, and then I'd still use the Lightning Lane. But if I was a local, as an AP, probably only, like Jalen said, if I was with people I don't hang out with much. There was times where I wasn't going to the parks, even with an annual pass. I just didn't feel like going for like months at a time. So sometimes.
And when you're a billionaire, you can just afford to let that money just be wasted.
I was just about to say that. Just blowing all that money.
And paying the monthly one too, like monthly.
Ryan bought an AP just so he can go to Disney Quest.
Dude, that was a great time. 2016, right? When they had free admission for cast members, and I was a cast member.
Oh my God. It was, I got free for a few times when it was on this last life, but but back to Disney.
Are we transitioning to that?
No,
not yet.
Okay.
Tommy Hawkins, you make a trip every 2 or 3 years when we will allow you into the country, which we don't know yet because you are a disease plague rat, apparently. When you can eventually take the boat over, will you use Genie Plus and Lightning Lane Plus?
I mean, who knows? Because they've just raised our ticket price again. I was looking at $650 for a 2-week pass. They've raised it by like $80 or $90. So that means that to even get any kind of cost savings out of coming, you probably need to be going to the parks for like 6, even 7 days out of those 14. So the question really is, when I look at it, when all's said and done, is it really going to benefit me more than my touring plan subscription with the Lines app? Honestly, I'm not convinced, because I know if Lens app says that the actual wait time is 25 minutes, it's going to be 25 minutes, whereas it could well be on the on the Genie app 50 minutes because
So
maybe for me it's only the app is only going to be as good as the data that they give it, and if they're giving it funny data. So
wake up.
Honestly, it depends.
You wake up, you can't get a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance. You're in the 99% of people who couldn't get on the ride. And you get to the park, you're outside the entrance, and the app says, ding, notification, Tommy, $50. You can get on right now. Come on, Tommy. You're not going to be here again in 2 years. For 2 years. Get on. You're not going to do it?
No, because I'd rather get in an Uber and travel down and go ride Hagrid's and Velocicoaster for the whole day. I'd rather do that.
As many times as you want.
And that's not me doing a Uni versus like Disney World Flex. That's just me saying they've got more rides that it's worth my time. Like I'd rather spend 3 hours of a day queuing up than spend $50 on a ride that they should have built properly in the first place. But that's just
what
me.
if we make it $25? We do it for $25?
If we're getting towards the end of my trip, I've had 2 or 3 failed attempts to get a boarding group, because I'll be honest with you, full disclosure, DHS is probably my favorite park. So when I did the whole park reservation things, DHS was probably like, of the 14 days that I had to book stuff, that was my highest visited one on my list, closely followed by Animal Kingdom. So for me...
Wow, you must like all 3 of those rides there.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Hey, come on.
But the point is this, right? If I've got towards the end of my trip, I'm at like day 12 and I still failed to get on Rise, and it's like, well, like you said, I'm maybe not going to be back for a year and a half, 2 years. I'm 4,500 miles away. It's not like I can come back another weekend and try again. I'd think about it, but not for $50. No way. No way in hell.
Yeah. So,
Tommy, if I'm you...
I have an important thing to bring up that we haven't talked about. So you pay the $25. You get in there one of your last days of the trip, and it breaks down. And it has like a 3-hour downtime. How quickly, if at all, do you get your money back? Does it say that anywhere in these releases? Like if there's a huge downtime... how quickly do you get your money back?
Yeah.
And do you even get it back, or do you just have to wait?
That ain't going to be like refund isn't going to be their go-to, is it? That's going to be their last resort. They'll try and fob you off on another day, won't they?
No,
or another ride.
No. People are going to want that money back. People are going to definitely want that, because if they only have the way things are, they have only one. Most people only have one day at a park, so.
Yeah.
Unless they're just like, oh, we'll transfer that to Flight of Passes, but we're just like, no, I'm just want to get in line for Flight of Passes. Give me back my $250 back and fuck off.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see Disney giving refunds.
People are going to be pissed if they are only told to go somewhere else and not give them their money back. Like that's huge.
For Tommy, I would say, like, if I were you and I would shell out that amount of money, but you also know this ride is broken down, I would wait at the exit and talk to people who, done the ride and ask them, oh, was this part working? Was this part working? Was this part working? Because I'm not going to pay $50 for a subpar ass experience. I'm just not. Suck my goddamn dick.
I'm going to stand at the exit and go, hey, did you like the part where it went upside down? Oh, it didn't do that for you? Oh man, you missed it.
If I pay $50, if I'm going to pay $50 for something, I'm going to look up this. I'm going to do some level of research to be like, hey, this is the best ride in the park. Quote unquote.
That's not Jalen. There are still people who get in front of Space Mountain. That ride is how old now? They get to the front, they get in line, they get queued up, they get to the stall and go, what's it? What is this? Is this a ride? They get in the vehicle and go, what is this a show?
That's why I'm talking about the exit, son. Like this is they've already been on it.
At Universal, we had a guest, I don't know if they were a team member or what, that would come up to us, and we use this system. It's point system for every attraction, and every effect is worth a certain amount of points. And if it's disabled, if your ride has more than 10 points, you can't open the ride. So that keeps attractions from looking dilapidated. But there was a guest that would come up to us and ask us blatantly, like, how many points today? And that's how we decided if he would want to ride.
Yeah, that's some heavy insider stuff right there.
Disney's not going to do that.
I tell you what, because I'm going to be there in a couple of months with my daughter, and we've only got 2 days there. And this is probably our last trip for some time because she'll be 3 soon, and we got to start paying full freight for her. I'm on the fence.
It's not that she's not old enough to go to full-time school, and you don't want to take her out to school. You're just being so tight that you don't want to buy her a ticket to go. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
you're damn Skippy.
We're looking at $700 for 2 days for 3 people.
For a kid?
$700.
Yeah, see, Tommy, that's the problem. Tommy lived all the way in England. He used to this shit. No
perspective. No. You all must be billionaires.
I showed you how they do it here, and if you get to a certain height, and then they don't charge you. So
see, that's the thing. In America, we got big kids. Here. We got big kids here. It's
my daughter is over 3 feet tall. My kid is tall to be 2.5 years old.
If I was a parent, I would make sure that I would get a really short surrogate donor for my kid. Someone that's really short.
Tommy, my surrogate was 5'3", and I'm 5'8", and we made a kid that'll be over 6 feet tall when she's an adult.
Yeah, you just never. It's kind of, that's how genetics are. They're kind of just like a roll of the dice.
Yeah, it just skips a generation apparently. But I'm on the fence about getting Disney Genie Plus. I think $60 for 2 days compared to what I'm spending on the cruise and the theme park tickets. That's a drop in the bucket. But is there anything I want to do throughout those 2 days that justifies this? Now, there's no way I'm paying the extra on. Y'all know that ain't happening for Flight of Passage and risers. That ain't happening. But so can I justify $60 to get on Space Mountain? I've done it before. Splash Mountain. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it though.
But that's what I said to you last time. When the people were like shitting on when the discussion came up about Paris and about they're doing it last time. In that situation, that's the question that I asked you. I don't know if you heard, but I basically said, that's what you've got that 2 days. You're going to do that. You've got that one thing that she really wants to go on that she does know about, like Buzz Lightyear or whatever it is. And it's you, Eric, and her. And it's like, look, we're not going to get a chance to do this again until she's maybe 6 or 7. We've got 2 days. Fuck it, let's just do it. And I'm not saying that you would do that on every single ride, but on that one occasion, that one thing that you really you were dead keen to experience with her as a family, you would probably do it.
And there's nothing at Disney that she wants to do that much. I can tell just knowing what she likes. She loves dinosaurs, and there ain't no dinosaurs at Disney for a 2.5-year-old. So she's much more looking forward to our Universal Day and meeting Blue 5 times in a row all day because that's what she does.
Yeah. You said she's 3.5 feet tall?
She's 3 feet 2 inches.
Okay. So on her way to the Flyers height.
Tower of Terror,
Pteranodon Flyers is
by 36. October, she will probably be 40 inches. So
yeah, that's Pteranodon Flyers height right there, boy.
Yep. Yeah, so we're feeding her a lot of milk every day for the next 2 months to get on Pteranodon Flyers.
I feel
you're putting her in the upside down gravity boots.
Yeah, we stretch her each morning when she wakes up. We just get one in the stretch.
That's the bicycle seat that you have her in when you're pedaling around the city.
I do have one question. Well, not so much a question. Would you just use Disney Genie by itself? Now, that's something I am personally interested
because I know I can navigate a park easily. Having been there so much, I can just tell by looking at a crowd, let's not go there, let's go here. So, and again, we're so lax with the way we tour a park. We're not ride consumers like that. There are days we've gone to theme parks and done like 4 or 5 rides and just go, okay, that was a good day, and we leave. So it's different for us.
Right. So here's my question, though. So obviously, a lot of people listening to us now, and ourselves included, know that pretty much touring plans can structure a day for you that can potentially give you a really good day, and you can trust like what touring plans are doing and give you a day where you just have a really good day at the parks. Who are you going to trust more? Are you going to trust Disney, or are you going to go, you know what, I pay $15 once a year for Len to do all the worrying for me. I trust the touring plans, and you've had a good day, and you've got on everything that you want to. Like, what puts Disney over the edge that actually makes you go, yeah, I need to pay a touring plan subscription every single day for my trip? Because that's essentially what we're talking about.
It's the live data. I think that live data that TP has is a lot more accurate when you're there in the park.
But you get
looking at the ride.
they don't have a stake in it either. I think that's the thing with Disney. They're basically playing puppet master.
Yeah, well, like Jordan Plans has a stake. They have a stake in being credible and honest, because if they're not, they lose their subscribers, and that's
the thing.
With but they have the live data as well, because whilst you're in the park, you can actually record the actual wait times that you wait for stuff. So, and it's a kind of crowdsourcing situation. But
right, and that's what I'm saying. That's what makes it valuable.
Yeah, so for me, I would trust that more than I would trust Disney, because I don't trust their wait times. I was talking about it on Twitter earlier, and I said unless they bring back the old NFC, like the contactless cards, the red cards they give you at the start of the thing, and then you give it just before you load. I don't think you can trust the accuracy. You can't. I know from working at the airport when we was looking at different ways of capturing how long people are queuing for, that the Bluetooth, like the passive sort of Bluetooth sensors and stuff like that, aren't necessarily accurate. Like you don't always get a true reading of how long someone's waiting. So I don't really trust them unless they bring a tangible way of showing that it's accurate. Then I would trust
Disney has no incentive, to be honest with you, about their wait times.
Yeah, they have. No, they want to be able to control, and also they want you to pay for this thing. I do want to play around with it because I do like AI, and I do like the idea of AI, but I don't think
there's much AI involved.
You think?
I don't think so.
It doesn't need to be AI. They can get.
So just because it's a basic algorithm.
Because AI would actually work. They don't want it to work. They want it to, like you said, they want to be able to control it. If an
AI is Don Cheadle from Space Jam. This is Algae Rhythm.
If an AI were to be able to, do the work for them, it would actually, see how many people are going where and when, and determine how many times to give out for which rides. But since Disney wants all the control, that's not
from one part to the other.
Somebody could develop AI. Somebody on the outside.
Hey, everyone, go ride PhilharMagic right now. That's the extent of AI, because no one's over there.
Yeah. Somebody could develop an AI. Somebody on the outside. But
that would be.
It would take a lot of work.
Interesting. That would be really interesting to see somebody name it Smart One. All those Epcot purists, get out there and Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's a good name. God damn it.
God. Smart One.
Cringe.
Fuck you.
Cringe lords.
When was the last time that thing was in the parks? 1986? Who remembers Smart Fuck? All you people who've never even been on a ride and stuff.
She is cute, okay? She's a cute little chibi goddamn robot, you ass. Okay, you gonna put some respect on her name, son.
Smart One.
How old was you in 1986 then, Jay?
Hey, put some respect on it. Hey.
Smart One.
Put some respect on goddamn Smart One's name. I really just
miss Food Rocks. That was Epcot to me.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, I see. That's
the making of me changed my life.
I miss the second version of Journey into Imagination. Journey into Your Imagination.
Fucking Ryan. fuck y'all. Fuck y'all.
Get the bulldozer. Bulldoze that building down.
We got a few
stop whining about it.
We got a few odds and ends here. NBA experience closed. Everyone is happy about it. I imagine there are going to be people 5 years from now who will be so nostalgic about NBA experience. Oh, it was the best. I went there all the time. I loved it.
Have you all
I saw somebody who used to work at Disney that mentioned they were operating on a Saturday pre-COVID, normal crowds, and 14 people walked in the door all day.
There were some Disney Quest days like that too.
Yeah, that was definitely the thing. That was the thing that's weird about the NBA experience. So I went to the NBA experience with my stepdad and my stepbrother and also my dad. Those are the biggest jocks in my life. We went on separate occasions, and on both and those are the biggest jocks in my life. And they're like, "What the fuck?" I don't think I enjoyed it. I had fun with it, but I don't think it's something that is sustainable. And I'm like, okay, if this is like the crowd who loves everything sports, well, American sports, they don't fuck with soccer, but they love, football, baseball, and basketball, and this is supposed to be like their thing, and they're just like, I mean, it was cool, it was cute. I think, I would come back to this maybe every 5 years, kind of, sort of, but it was.
I took a look at it, and
it was $20 to go in.
If you've been to the Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, that place is a million times better and probably way less expensive. that place is super cool. Way more exhibits and fun things to do. You could spend pretty much a whole day there.
It was $35 to get into. It was the same price of getting into Disney Quest, but it was only about like an hour experience. You did the combine, and then once you went up, you did the 4 little mini games that they had up there, and a lot of cute stuff. There's a lot of cute stuff that's there, and I think it would have been better suited over at Wide World of Sports. And if they did one for every sport, that probably would have been able to hold people a lot longer. Cause that's just like having Disney Quest. You have 5 sports, and so you just make 5 little arenas, and you do it for each sport, and that's 5 hours out of somebody's day. And then that $35 is worth it. But even at $20, I was just like, if it wasn't for me, one, being curious about this and having the perfect excuse to come here, and also, do something better for my dads outside of just getting them the same regular old Home Depot gift card for Christmas, and to actually go do an experience with them, it was okay. $20, but the $35 price tag on that thing, definitely not worth it. It just...
I'd 100% rather go to Topgolf.
Hell, but I will say, though, CityWorks brewery up under CityWorks under that CityWorks lab. CityWorks is the only
that's
thing.
Great. That place is awesome. Yeah.
And speaking of that section of downtown, Disney Springs, sorry. We saw some possible preview images and video for the new Cirque du Soleil Drawn to Life show, and to me, this kind of seemed like just another freaky French clown Cirque du Soleil show to me. And I've seen a lot of, and I love Cirque. I've seen almost all their shows in Vegas. This didn't seem too different or Disney-fy, at least from what they showed.
It looked, I didn't even do what was it? Lanuda?
Yeah,
whatever.
Lanuba was the original.
Yeah, that scared the fuck out of me with that spider lady with the huge nose. As a kid, I hated that thing. So I don't really have a stake in this. I'm surprised that they kept Cirque du Soleil there.
Is that section of Disney Springs just cursed? Or they built that on an Indian burial ground or something?
No, they just fuck up over there, and they can afford to.
Yeah.
I would say, and this is someone who's been to see the Avatar Torimon, the Toric one. I quite enjoyed it, so I think I'm kind of giving the benefit of doubt that like they can pull off like a
because that weird stuff is built for European people like you.
Jesus Christ! Wow! Just
that's you walk in the streets of Paris and everyone's doing that stuff.
To see it.
I like West Side. I do like West Side. I think West Side is very unique. It's just that they don't know what they want to do with
nothing
it.
over there unique because it's empty.
No, I meant like
Strawberry parking lot's really unique because it's a flat lot. Yeah.
No,
that's great. That's great.
Actually,
too. Quick in and out.
I'll be real with you. House of Blues, the M&M store, and back. It's just those 2 big buildings in the back that's supposed to be like the main draw. Like Cirque du Soleil and then the Disney Quest NBA experience building. And for some reason back there, it's always dead. If it wasn't for House of Blues, I feel like they would completely shut down all of that section and just keep the movie theaters and back, like Everglazed and back, like right where you get off at, like, I think it's the other entrance from the orange garage down there. Just from there, they would cut it off right there and keep it back. Because that has a lot of life to it. That has a lot of
There used to be a time where West Side was great. House of Blues was popping every night. Bongos was serving great food, and that was a party. And you had the Virgin Megastore, which there seemed like there was always tons of people in there. And then Disney Quest. So there were some nights you couldn't fucking breathe in the place because there were so many people.
You couldn't breathe in there, period, Brian. True. It was God, Disney Quest it's I like it for what it was, but for $35 for me to be in the claustrophobic box with you would go in there and you would come out and it would feel like you ate what year is it? Like
it's like a casino in Vegas.
You just
like that's exactly what they were going for. Like hell. And Disney Quest could have easily been saved. Hell, you could have just put a bunch of arcades everywhere, charged $25 a head to go in that bitch, and just make it.
Oh man,
You could make it such an easy moneymaker. Such an easy moneymaker.
Disney bring in Riot and help them and use them to help build a new esports / Disney Quest modernized video game.
Why does it have to be this bloody arcade? Why does it have to be this? Come on.
Because arcades make fucking money, son.
But it didn't make money. They closed it. It didn't make money. That's why they shut it. If it made money, it would still be open now, right?
It was $35 to go into this thing, but when it was $20 to go in the last few years of his life, people were checking that thing out. Because for $20,
because it was shit. Because they gave up on it. Because they knew it wasn't.
It's still an arcade around the corner.
They were running down the depreciation.
It was too early. It was too early for them. It was too early. Now's the perfect time. There's video game bars popping up all over America. Video game bars huge places. They're getting bigger.
Orlando. You have arcade monsters down the street. You have Player One around the corner that's already $5 to go inside. And Player One is this small little hole-in-the-wall bar with all of these arcade games. Imagine having 5 stories of that. Actual good food, actually good booze, and cutting out all of those fucking attractions besides maybe Space Mountain and Astro Blasters, and just open it up, put some windows in that bitch, and start, brewing some brews in there. You could actually turn a profit because that's what's hot right now. Video game bars are big in Florida.
People don't fly to Florida to play video games, guys. Video games in general
are Disney Springs is the world right now.
See, that's the thing with Tommy.
Thriving better.
You are an international guest, and that makes sense. I get it. But Disney Springs is for locals. That's the thing, that it's free. Anybody can go in. And you don't even have to pay to park like you do over at California. There are more locals going to Disney Springs than there are tourists, probably, on a regular basis.
No.
So?
Right.
You really don't think that
no. Do you see
there's not even enough people in Orlando that want to go?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
We got to move on. Because I have a toddler walking up the steps now. Is about to attack.
When Pleasure Island was still open, Jalen, yes.
We have time for 2 questions. We have time for 2 questions over on Twitter at eTicketReport. You can send us your questions. First thing is from Matt Morris at Matt 2 T's D Morris 2 R's. He says, "Do you see Universal taking more market share because of the latest Disney actions and scaled-backed offerings?"
Yes.
And a new theme park opening in about 4 years, too.
Now, this may be a situation where locals say, I'm done with Disney. I've done it before. There's no rush to go back to it. I'm moving that dollar to Universal.
And that's the same for a lot of the international visitors, too, as well.
Because people are starting to look down I-4 and that looks interesting. And once they bring in...
I think what Universal has on Disney right now is staying on site at Universal is more pleasant than staying on site at Disney.
Yep.
Yeah, and with Epic Universe, speaking of international visitors, theme park companies see things in terms of how many nights you stay there. That's the big thing. How many nights you spend in their hotels. Adding Epic Universe into the roster adds an extra night someone's going to spend in a Universal hotel as opposed to a Disney hotel, and that's where the real market share shift comes in. There's a reason why they built so many hotels so fast.
So as I said to you, my ticket, so the tickets that I've bought that I've got are 14 days Universal or 14 days Disney. Now, obviously, I can't physically do both of those, and I'm not going to come for a month. So when you've got tickets for both, really it's just a balance of how many days you spend at each. And you'll notice in the earnings call, they're talking about how per caps have gone up, blah, 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 per capita spending's gone up. That's where they make the real money from us. So if you shift from, say, a 50-50 split of 7 days at Disney, 7 days at Universal, to only 4 days at Disney and 10 days at Universal, then obviously that's where they're going to make their market share back. But I think that the threat of the fact that Disney are basically going, at the moment, their capex spending is down. Once they get through Tron and once they get through Guardians next year, there isn't anything lined up. They don't have anything lined up. Yeah, they'll take Splash Mountain down and they can do Tiana, but that's not a new addition. So if you look 3 to 4 years down the line, by the time Epic Universe is going to open, how many new offerings are Disney going to have that makes people go, you know what? this trip is going to be uniquely different to the last time I went to Disney? Or is it going to be just the same?
Well,
it's history repeating itself. They were caught with their pants down with Potter, and they're going to be caught with their pants down again with Epic Universe.
I feel like with this, I don't want to say that they won't announce anything, because one, we got D23 coming up here in Florida, and then we have it next year. So there's probably going to be something announced there. But I don't think it's going.
You guys fall for this.
But I don't think it's going to be something substantial, because they just don't want to compete. They don't want to fight. Like they're complacent. They don't have that drive.
But it's not a fight. But what Disney have the ability? It's not a fight. It's not a fight.
It's a war. This is a theme park war,
to get even more people to come in general. Like to get more people from all over to come to Orlando, period. Not just one or the other.
What I'm saying is, what I mean by it's not a fight is because Disney fully have it in their ability. If they wanted to, they could do exactly what Universal have been doing the past 5 years. They could add. They could, for what Disney, for what Universal do with one park, where they're adding one new thing every year and spending, I don't know, 200 to 400 million on a new ride. Disney could pretty much do that for 2 out of 4 of their parks every single year for the next 5 years until Epic Universe opens. They've got the money to do it. Like, but the 2019 spending, the CAPEX spending, the domestic spending versus revenue was only 4%. They were only spending 4% of their revenue stream,
fucking Christ,
putting back into the business for the domestic parks.
Yeah.
So, like, it sounds a big number. 3 billion sounds like a lot, but in that year they made 70 billion. It's a small amount of money.
Trying to fight.
It's not a fight. They're not fighting. They're not.
If Disney had greenlit those plans back when they closed the backlot tour to build Radiator Springs and Star Wars Land at Hollywood Studios, it would have been game over. We wouldn't even be having this conversation.
I just think, given the fact that we have a CEO that's very complacent and okay and doesn't really care, I don't think he cares. I think he's just running everything to keep his job afloat. He doesn't have passion. And when you have
a lot of people say that they run the theme park quarter to quarter instead of year to year, decade to decade, and so
I think passion.
Disney got caught with their pants down with Potter, and they're going to look up in 4 years with Epic Universe. If they put actual good IPs in that thing and not what they're planning on putting in there, they're going to look up in 4 or 5 years and go, oh crap, now we got to build new Fantasyland expansion again. They're another knee-jerk reaction. We got to move on. One more thing that we passed up because it's been so much that's happened recently. The Star Cruiser, what's this thing called? Galactic Star Cruiser. We got some more details on that. Who here is paying $4,000 for 2 nights?
My ass, okay?
Oh, get out of here.
Now look.
Get out of here.
Now look, okay? Now look, 1, I'm going in with some friends, and 2, I already committed, okay? I've already read all these
friends. How many? You can only fit 3 people in a room. What do you mean some friends? You got some rich friends?
Oh, no. Don't worry about who I fraternize with,
8 people in a room. This isn't like a,
No, I'm going to get 4 for... Don't worry. I have no kids. I have no college debt. I got mines, okay, Wakefields. I got mines, okay.
Well, that's the thing is, Jalen, I've got mine too, but I'm not stupid with money, and I'm not stupid with wasting money on things. That's how I keep mine.
I like Star Wars. I really like Star Wars, and
I love Star Wars,
and I've already committed to reading these books. Like I like the lore of Batu. Like this is aimed directly at me.
Your dumb ass is gonna be playing Sabacc for 4 hours a day for $4,000.
Bitch, I was already doing it on Planet Tuesday. I own 3 decks, son.
Oh my god.
You're talking to a Nintendo Pokemon super fan. When I go hard for something, I go hard for something, okay? Like, this is the one thing that I have. I don't even spend that much money to begin with. Like, this is for me.
You could fly around the world and see things people will never get to see in their life.
I'll probably do that, too. You don't know what I got going on, Wakefields.
It's not about having it. It's about being smart with your money and not burning
No. It's about living your goddamn wage, okay? If people have it, they should be able to use their money however the fuck they want to. Why does it fucking matter to you?
Because
why does it matter?
It is so much money. It's so wasteful.
I know people who will spend $700 on shoes, and I think that's dumb. But for them,
that's wasteful.
That's wasteful to me and you, but there's different things for different people.
Shoes
different
last more than 2 days, though, Jay. Shoes can last longer than 2 days.
Like, look at look at that's a whole nother goddamn thing with Kanye. That's a whole nother goddamn example in high school culture in general. That's a whole nother discussion. That's a whole nother podcast. Y'all can find that on my podcast, so we'll go into that. But like, no, dog, that's for me. It's just people who probably look at people going to Disney stupid or going to Universal stupid. Why are you paying this money to go to a fabricated place when you could be going to, actually travel someplace? And there's people who have actively said that. And when people say that, we rally around like, how dare you tell me how to spend my money?
I don't. No, that's a cheap pop. That's kind of a cheap, people just spend their money the way they want to. Of course, duh. But we're talking in this, criticism universe.
I feel like it depends on, and this is probably going to be a once in a lifetime or once every 10 years for me thing. Like, I'm not going to do this every day.
You're going to do this every 10 years?
Maybe. I don't know, but I'm probably going to only do it once.
It's the most expensive one and done ride or attraction there. Come on.
But I'm invested in it. You ain't going to want to do
more than one trip.
I'm invested in it. Y'all aren't.
Here's my one.
So that's why it's dumb.
Here's my one question. Wait to hear the reviews.
Yeah, no, I'm going to wait. I'm not just going to go in and have.
But are you going to say? Are you going to save up the money leading up to it, and then when it gets really shit reviews, what are you going to spend the money on? Because you can pretty much go around Europe for that.
I'll go to Japan like I did before. Like, I already saved up enough money to go to Japan. I can do the same thing for this and still have enough money left over to probably go to Japan.
What are they going to do?
Yeah, we have a real billionaire here on the podcast.
Exactly.
Because of all my goddamn grind.
If they do this and like Rise of the Resistance is down all day, what happens to those people who paid all this money for this and they can't get on Rise of the Resistance?
Run me another night, bitch. Y'all going to have to ride a third night.
But it's run me another night. It's so regimented and scheduled, and those rooms are already sold for the next night.
You know what else is regimented? You know what else is regimented and accounted for? That fucking ride breaking down every goddamn day. So you know what? Run a third day. Because this is going to happen.
They can't, because that room was already scheduled. There's a party coming in after. It's a cruise ship. It's a cruise ship.
They'd have to comp you on for another 2 days.
These are motherfuckers who can build mountains. Y'all can fix a schedule. Y'all work this out. There's
already a party coming in after you.
All I know is I have friends who love the LARPing of Batu, and that's exactly what it's for. And if this is something that is seen for something that you want to do, I don't want to discourage you from doing that. I don't care what you do with your money. Okay? If this is something that you really love or that has piqued your interest, wait. Of course, wait.
That's the key.
Definitely wait. I would wait and see the reviews because I'm just not... You should not be the first testers. It's like buying a new video game console. You wait. You never buy a console at launch. You never go to a Disney thing like this at launch. Okay. Or maybe you do because things will start breaking down over time. But definitely look out for this thing and see how it is. We don't know where it is. We're just being speculative. But I already knew I was going to go on this thing. I already knew I was going to shell out the money.
It was, it's interesting because a lot of people think, someone's spending $500 a night for a hotel room must be really rich, must be really wealthy, have a lot of money. And I started speaking to travel agent friends of mine who run the agencies and are really in the know. And they told me the really wealthy people don't stay at Disney as much as you think because they understand the value of a dollar. They stay off property. The people paying that money for Grand Flow and Contemporary are people who are maxing out their credit cards or just blowing through savings and not really. I think there's got to be an understanding of a value of a dollar one way or the other. And if you're going to do this, great, do it, live your life. You have means, do it, awesome. One, please don't go into debt for this, into credit card debt for this. And two, like Jalen said, wait for some reviews first to come out. And not the blogger first couple night, when they have CNBC out there vloggers to do it.
Wait like 6 months. Wait 6 months to a year. Like
wait
definitely
for the fluff to come down before you spend your money on it.
And they got to work out some kinks. Again, it's just like a console. You never buy a piece of hardware.
Oh yeah,
at launch because there's always going to be some kinks. And there's always going to be some problems. And take it from somebody who went to a university for the first 4 years before it was accredited, and they were working out some things. You wait.
Oh, was this full sale?
And you never know. I just bought Cyberpunk for $10 on Best Buy.
Hell, No Man's Sky
out in December. No Man's Sky went
it's like
from
$5.
It used to be $5, and now it's back up to 40. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, people are using that as drink coasters, son. So, like, I would definitely wait and see this out. Just don't run in and be a blind. Just don't run in blind. You know, let some other people who are blind and who has the money to run into this, and let them be the guinea pigs for this. But if you like Star Wars, my black ass, I answered your question like 5 minutes ago, dog.
No, what I'm saying is, like, you've got the week one vloggers that go in when everything's working, like Disney are going above and beyond because they want those sweet like reviews. They want them influencers going in and saying how amazing this trip is. Who's going to go after that and go, here's my true honest review of what this hotel's like? Like,
it'll
3
be
weeks
the
in.
Star Wars super fans who've been waiting for this for a long time, who have the means to do it. The same people who buy the iPhones they're in line the first day, or the people who are in line for PS5s the first day. They're early adopters. But we have a saying, pioneers get slaughtered and settlers get rich. So just keep it in the back of your mind. All right, we got to wrap it up here. Jalen, where can we find your rich ass on Twitter?
Rich, bitch, please. I wish. But y'all can find me on Twitter at TCJalen. And don't y'all start hitting me up for money. Don't y'all. I ain't got it.
Guys, send your Cash App links or whatever it is to Jalen.
That's right.
Y'all ain't getting a goddamn thing. You better set up an OnlyFans before they start taking the porn away. That's what you better do.
Speaking of OnlyFans, Ryan, where can we find you online?
Ryan, OnlyFans.
I imagine you're 6, and that's where I'm at.
It's just Ryan in front of a camera talking about baseball.
Is the 6 the actual? Is that the centimeter length? Is that what we're doing? Is it?
I won't give you money, but I will book your vacation to Orlando, headache free. I'll plan everything for you. I'll be better than Genie Plus.
Oh my god!
I wish I'd known you could have moved my whole entire vacation for me.
Yeah, I mean, no problem, dude.
Lou Mangello is going to order a hit out on Ryan because he's moving in on his territory. He's going to break your leg. He's going to break your legs with like a Disney prop. Son,
Chris, who was the guy that was charging $300 to walk around and queue for you or whatever?
I think that was Lou Mangello, right?
There was I think several people do that.
Yeah.
I've heard of that going around.
Tommy, where can we find you online?
At Tommy Hawkins. That's on Twitter or whatever. Yeah, I don't care.
And you can find me everywhere at Wakefield Report, including OnlyFans. And you can find the show at E-Ticket Report. Send us your questions. Send us your thoughts. We got our wrap. That's all we have for this time. So we'll see you all maybe next time.
Join us for the next 3 parts.
Later.